Imagine waking up to breaking news. The Crimean Bridge has been destroyed. The world watches in shock. How did it happen? What does it mean for Russia and Ukraine? And most importantly, when will this actually become a reality? In this video, we will break down Ukraine's military strategy, past attacks, and the timeline for a potential final strike. Stay until the end, because what we uncover might surprise you. The Crimean Bridge is one of the most strategic and symbolic targets in the war between Ukraine and Russia. Built by Russia in 2018, it connects the illegally annexed Crimean Peninsula with mainland Russia. For Ukraine, this bridge is a military supply route that strengthens Russian forces in occupied territories. Destroying it would cut off crucial reinforcements and supplies. But is it possible? And if so, when? To understand this, we need to dive deep into Ukraine's past attacks, its growing military capabilities, the defenses Russia has in place, and the potential consequences of taking down the bridge. Let's begin by looking at the previous attempts to strike this crucial infrastructure. Ukraine has already targeted the bridge twice. The first attack was in October 2022, when a truck bomb severely damaged the structure. This explosion was so powerful that a section of the road collapsed into the sea. The attack was a major embarrassment for Russia and temporarily disrupted their supply routes. However, the bridge was quickly repaired, proving that a single strike wasn't enough to take it down completely. The second major attack came in July 2023, using sea drones to strike the bridge's pillars. This was a more sophisticated and precise assault, showing that Ukraine was adapting its tactics. The damage forced Russia to partially close the bridge again, slowing down its military logistics. Each attack has weakened the bridge, proving that it is vulnerable. However, these strikes were not enough to fully collapse it. So what comes next? Since the full-scale invasion began, Ukraine's arsenal has grown significantly. Western allies have provided advanced long-range weapons, such as Storm Shadow cruise missiles and ATACMS ballistic missiles. These missiles can strike deep into enemy territory with high accuracy, making them a potential tool for taking down the bridge. Naval drones have also become a crucial part of Ukraine's strategy. These unmanned, explosive-packed boats can bypass traditional defenses and deliver a devastating blow. With each attack, Ukraine refines its technology and tactics, making future strikes even more effective. But will this be enough to bring the bridge down for good? Another key factor is the role of special operations forces. Ukraine's intelligence and sabotage units have carried out numerous high-risk missions behind enemy lines. Russia understands the strategic importance of the bridge and has reinforced its defenses. After the previous attacks, the Kremlin deployed additional anti-air systems, naval patrols, and electronic warfare units to prevent another successful strike. One of the biggest challenges Ukraine faces is Russia's air defense network. The S-300 and S-400 missile systems are designed to intercept incoming threats, making it harder for Ukraine to launch missile strikes on the bridge. Additionally, Russia has deployed smoke screens and decoy structures to confuse Ukrainian drones and missiles. However, no defense is perfect. As seen in previous attacks, Ukraine has found ways to bypass these protections. Timing is everything. Experts predict that Ukraine will strike the bridge again when conditions are most favorable. But when exactly could this happen? One possibility is during a major counteroffensive. If Ukrainian forces push deeper into occupied territory, a strike on the bridge could isolate Russian troops and prevent reinforcements from arriving. Another option is during the winter months, when harsh weather makes repairs more difficult and logistics more complicated for Russian forces. There is also the question of political timing. With increasing Western support and new military aid packages arriving, Ukraine might wait until it has the best possible weapons and intelligence before launching another major strike. The key factor is patience. Ukraine is playing the long game. If Ukraine succeeds, the consequences will be massive. Russian supply lines will be crippled, making it harder for them to maintain control over occupied territories. This would also force Russia to rely more on the land corridor through southern Ukraine, which is more vulnerable to attacks from Ukrainian forces. The destruction of the bridge would also be a huge psychological blow to the Kremlin. It would demonstrate to the Russian public that even their most protected assets are not safe. This could lead to further criticism of the war and increase internal pressure on the Russian government. However, there are also risks. A successful attack on the bridge could provoke a strong retaliation from Russia. In response to previous strikes, Russia intensified its missile attacks on Ukrainian cities and infrastructure. If Ukraine manages to destroy the bridge completely, Moscow could escalate its airstrikes even further. The question is whether Ukraine is willing to take that risk. With each attack, Ukraine gains valuable intelligence and refines its strategy. The bridge remains a top target, and sooner or later, a decisive strike will come. Some military analysts believe that Ukraine will continue a war of attrition, gradually weakening the bridge with repeated attacks until it collapses. Others argue that a single, well-coordinated strike using a combination of missiles, drones, and sabotage could bring it down in one decisive blow. There is also speculation about new weapon systems that could be used. Will Ukraine acquire more advanced Western weapons that can penetrate Russian defenses more easily? Could we see new types of drones or missiles deployed specifically for this mission? The battlefield is constantly evolving, and the final strike on the Crimean Bridge might look very different from previous attacks. So, when will Ukraine destroy the Crimean Bridge? The answer is not whether, but when. The bridge has already been attacked several times, and each attack brought Ukraine one step closer to its complete destruction. What do you think? Will Ukraine demolish the Crimean Bridge this year? Write to us in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.